Okay, in today's lesson, we're just looking at all things division index laws. Just a quick recap. X squared is 1 times x, x of 1 is 1 times x, and anything to the power of 0 is 1. We're going to be looking into this later. Okay, so this is the law we're looking at today. Just a quick thing, this is the last lesson. When we multiply, we add them up, and in brackets they multiply, but we're not focusing on that today. We're looking at division index laws. So, what the law states, x to the power of m divided by x to the n, you take your numbers away from each other. So for example, 2 to the power 6 divided by 2 to the power 4 equals 2 to the 6, take away 4, which equals 2 squared, and we actually know that's 4. So there we are. Okay, and anything to the power of 0 is 1, but I'm going to look into that later. So our focus is just this for today. So how it works, well, for example, if I said 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, divided by 4 times 4 times 4, well, with division, they just nicely cancel out, leaving us with the 4. Because that's the same as saying 4 to the 4 divided by 4 to the 3, which equals, we can rewrite it, 4 to the 4 divided by 4 to the 3, and that equals 4 minus 3, because that's the law, take them away, but we know that's 4 to the 1, nice 4. Here's another visual proof, 2 to the 5 divided by 2 squared, but we can write that as, this is quite lengthy, but we're going to show you the process. 5 of them, over 2 of them. Well, you can see 2 of them cancel out quite nicely, and that leaves us with 2 times 2 times 2, and that is 2 cubed. A quick way to do it, 2 to the 5, take away 2 is 2 cubed, which happens to be a nice 8. That's what we're looking for. When we divide, we just subtract the index from each other. So here's some practice. I'll show you the first one really quick. 5 to the 5 divided by 5 squared. 5 take away 2 is 5 to the 3. That's how quick they should be. This one, 8 minus 3, 5 to the 5, and so on. Right, I'm going to let you do the rest. This is the same. It's just written differently. Still division. 5 take away 2. 3 to the 5 take away 2 equals 3 cubed. And so on. Take them away from each other. Okay, I'm going to give you the answers for them. You can follow here. Answers are here. I should just say pause it here. 3, 2, 1. Let's not be too cruel. Answers, self-mark. Okay, let's move on. Application. This is just for you to walk through. Remember, anything to the power of 0 is 1. Just a little hint. Just fly through these. What's going on here? Here. Remember, negatives and so on. And then we're going to have a nice little extension application, which I'm going to go through now for you. So here are the answers. I should say pause it. Here are the answers. Answers. Now, I'm going to look at these three for you. This incorporates the last lesson. So firstly, add these up. This is multiplying, so we add them. So this is going to be 2. Well, 2 plus 10 is 12. Now we divide it by 2 to the 4. And we know that we take them away, leaving us with 2 to the 8. So if I squeeze that in there. Okay, here, and we're just leaving these as powers of 2s, by the way. If you have a calculator, be my guest. Here, right, division first in the brackets, because it's bin maths. So, it'll be 4 minus 2. We add them up as 6. Now we multiply it by our 10. That's here. Add them up. 2 to the 16. Great, here. Right, there's brackets, we multiply them out. So it's going to be 2 to the 40 divided by 2 to the 7. And that leaves us with 40 take away 7. And that is 2 to the 33, to the power 33. And there we are. Right, now, the question you've been waiting for, why does x to the power of 0 equals 1? Well, I'm going to show you this little cool little pattern. Maths is all about patterns, and life is patterns, and maths is all kind of wonderfully beautiful. Right, so we know 2 squared equals 4. Great. Let's just say 2 to the 1 equals 2. 2 cubed equals 8. 2 to the 4 equals 16. 2 to the 5 equals 32, and so on. How do we go backwards? So every time we divide by 2. So by that pattern, 2 to the 0, what's it going to equal? We divide it by 2. And that gives us 2 divided by 2 is 1. We can continue this pattern if we wished. If I was to bring this over, 2 to the 0, we just said it equals 1. What would 2 to the minus 1 equal? 2 to the minus 2. 2 to the minus 3. This is enough lesson in itself. But let's continue the pattern. Divided by 2 is half. Divided by 2 again. Divided by 2 again. You're going to get 1/4. 1/8. Interesting, but that's a different pattern for a different day. And this is why any value, even if I said x to the 77 divided by x to the 77, that's just going to be x 77 minus 77, which equals x to the 0, which equals 1. Because that's just how it works. Assuming again, 2 to the 5 divided by 2 to the 5, it looks like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 over 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Cancel all of them out. You're left with nothing. So 1 over 1, if you will, equals 1. Because that's what you're left with. 0 over 0 is 1. Anything over itself is 1. So anything to the power of 0, even if I said to you, get a calculator right now, 36,789 to the power of 0, 1. Always 1. Okay, extension, finish up on here. You've got 3 questions at the top. Can you find me x to the power of what? And then, this is non-calculator. I've given you values here. Do not put them in. I want you to first solve it. So tell me what it's going to be, x to the y to the what, and then substitute these numbers in and tell me what your number is. And there we are. That's today's lesson. As always, get in touch if you want any help.